Hello. Hello, hello. Let's see, Linda's in the chat. You'll have to forgive me. Things are a little caca here because it's been that kind of day. And I'm sure I look pale because I'm still sick. Can't be helped. So I hope everybody's having a good night and had a good day. You guys heading into a weekend. It should be fun. Get my notes up there because I'm looking for my jeweler's loop. There we go. Oh, it's been a rough couple of weeks. I still can't breathe right, but we know why now. Black mold that was in my room. So we've taken that out and cut out part of the wall. Hi, Tiafane. Yeah, so it turns out my keep getting this head colds is because there's a spot over on the far side of the house, which I guess that tree limb, when it came down and broke my house a while ago, there's a whole video about that. It must have knocked the peak of the roof, which is right over my room, and it's where a chimney used to be. And so it's been leaking this winter down my wall. But the part of the wall that actually covers the old brick chimney is drywall. And where that meets the plaster, apparently started having black mold. And you couldn't see it right away because the paint had bubbled up, but it hadn't actually, like, the mold was underneath the paint. So we found it because I wanted to get the picture off the wall because it's embroidered Chinese silk. And that's when we found the black mold further up on the plaster wall, growing on the actual paint, not really on the plaster, but I had my son scrape out some of the plaster just to be sure. So I'm still coughing. I still have a lot of gunk in the bronchial tubes. So that's where it's mostly been sitting. But we think that was the cause of it. But yeah, I'm still coughing and still having fun issues with that. It's going to be a while because we've been running a fan with a HEPA filter that we went and bought a box fan. I put it on my charge card. I got a box fan from Home Depot and a filter, and we have duct taped it to the back of the fan so the fan can suck all the air from the room through that filter to try to get any mold spores out of the air and dust and all that out of the room. Because I hate this. I can't breathe. You feel exhausted all the time when you can't get a deep breath in. And chasing kittens is no fun when you get winded. But you're gonna have to forgive me because there are gonna be coughs. The doctor does not want me taking a lot of like Dayquil and stuff because, you know, one, it kind of stops you from coughing things up. But these coughing fits drive me crazy. They were getting bad enough they would wake me up at night, so I wasn't getting sleep. And it just made me feel worse. And then it turned the fun colors. They put me on antibiotics, so I've done those, but I still just have all the gunk. You know, I got a text message from one of you that I've gotten to be good friends with, and they said, "How are you still smiling? After everything you went through last year, to still have all of this year so far be injury or sickness, one right after the other." She said, "How the hell are you still smiling?" And I'll tell you, the only reason I'm still smiling is because so far, all the stuff that's happened this year either is because of what happened last year, like the potential hernias, and then the you know, the knee being screwed up more from the fall and from physical therapy. But those are treatable. Those can be fixed. last year, we didn't know if my spine was ever going to release those pinched nerves. We didn't know if I was ever going to be able to be fixed in any way. So as long as what's happening to me is stuff that's treatable, while I might be tired, I'm still smiling. I may not be moving so much, but I'm still smiling. And it helps too that we're finally seeing sunlight. The neighbor has let me try to garden in his yard because he made a raised bed. He's got more in it than I do, though he doesn't have a clue about gardening. So I told him very quickly that I'm getting the chives and the mint back out of the ground, because you should never put them in the ground in your garden or you'll never get rid of them, ever. So they're on pots on his back porch now, because they have a big concrete porch over there. So they're in pots now so that they don't take over. But I have a yellow tomato. I have seeds for lots of carrots. He has no clue how many seeds or carrots I put in. What's the other thing? I have yellow squash, 4 yellow peppers, a couple of marigolds. I snuck sunflowers in the back corners. We'll see if they grow. They're old seeds, so I've just basically have just emptied the whole pack. You know, I had seeds for marjoram, which is another type of herb. I just emptied the whole pack. The packs are 2003. The good Lord alone knows if this stuff's going to grow or not. So I just throw it all in there. What the hell? So we'll see what happens. Hi, Cricket. Cricket, I was thinking about you because I have that big green planter spittoon looking thing, and I was trying another box. I'm going to have to Frankenbox that sucker, because so far every box that I thought of would be the right height isn't the right width, and it just isn't fitting. So I'm going to have to Frankenbox that thing to get that to you. So I have not forgotten you, but that thing was not one of the ones I expected to be a problem for shipping. I am holding on to some gorgeous early American pressed glass for you, glass trays, and platters, because I don't have boxes big enough. And I'm trying not to make that mistake anymore of having something to show you and to sell and not have a box the right size. And the kittens, Gimli got on top of the chair where I had a stack of stuff that I had washed and dried and needed to photograph, because I had some dishes I was going to put on eBay, but then I had underneath it these, like this wide, you know, this much bigger than my head, these great big pressed glass trays that have patterns from the 30s. One of them's a beautiful milk glass piece. And all I heard was clatter, 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 crash, crash, crash. And I was so thankful that none of the glass went on the floor. Just the porcelain stuff, the dinnerware that was on top that was going to go on eBay, broke all but one cereal bowl. Now, mind you, I didn't pay $70 for it, but there was about $70 or I think it's about $76, $78 worth of value, potential value, that is now mosaic pieces. I'm going to put them on, I was thinking of putting them on Facebook for anybody that wants to do mosaics, because that's kind of heavy stuff to ship, but there might be somebody local. I'll just give it to them. I'll just give it to them. You know, there's a thing called Free Cycle, and you can put listings on that as stuff for free. So Mike put it all in a brown paper bag, so I may just give it away. Because I'm not doing I don't need any other craft projects. I'm not getting into doing mosaics. No, I have enough to deal with here. So who is in the house? Teophane, yeah, it is a wet and cool summer here so far. Though we have spikes. We've been getting spikes up into the high 90s and then it'll back down. Now tomorrow's supposed to still hit 82, I think. And then the next day, Saturday, is supposed to only hit 70 and rain. Don't want any more rain. I really don't want any more rain. Last night was so bad. I was up most of the night. It was lightning. It was thunder. I could tell from how much water was coming in because it came down to the first floor again that odds are that the drain on the third floor was clogged. And sure enough, it was. And trying to open that window, it's these double glazed windows. They're very heavy and the thing doesn't work right. So the bottom part won't stay up. The whole thing will just slide down on you. So you have to take the bottom part, start to put that up, but as you put it up, you've got to hold the top part up. So I'm trying to hold both of them up to get this wooden piece underneath. And my back can't take that much weight. So I've been sore all day. Slept till noon, then had to deal with starving kittens who knocked over their water bottle. So so the powder room where their litter box and their food is, that's all nice and clean now because I had to scrub the floor. They were a mischief mess today because they got into here. Now think that one through, knowing what you see behind me. They got into the living room. Now, a couple of times, one or two have made it in here and they stay on the floor under the desk. No, all 5 were in here. They were crawling under the desk, coming out on the little tray that holds the keyboard. They were trying to come up and over. They were up there. And one of them, one brave sucker, figured out the doctor's path and went underneath everything, came up on the antique rocker over there, got onto the windowsill, and next thing I know, it was right here. And of course, it was Gimli. Gimli is very adventuresome, but he doesn't come when he's called. If it had been Elrond, I could just go, hey, get over here, and put my hand like this, and Elrond would climb onto my hand and let me get him. No. Gimli backs up so he's just out of reach and then lays there and watches you. He's a brat. So another week. I tried again today to call Forgotten Cats. I called the Delaware number, never got an answer. Nobody ever picked up the phone. I tried their Facebook page. That didn't do anything. You send a message through that, it kicks back an automatic message to you giving the phone numbers for Pennsylvania and for Delaware. So I called the Pennsylvania number and yet again left a message. Never got a phone call back yet today. So, and I have people in my area saying, oh, have you called Forgotten Cats? Yeah, multiple times, and they're not calling back. Because if nothing else, can we get everybody neutered? That would be nice. I talked to my vet, and by the time we got each kitten looked at, evaluated, treated for anything, and then their shots, it's not even neutering. This is just to get them evaluated, do initial blood work, make sure they have no parasites, which by now, if they did have worms, I'd know it. But to get all their initial shots, it'd be $160 per kitten. I think we figured it out. It came to 168. Or is the doctor going to be 168? I forget which, because the doctor's got to get hers. But yeah, it was over $160 per kitten. That's not going to happen. But I really want at least a trap neuter release. Let's get the 3 outside and Morgan fixed, and I'm not hearing back. It's been a little frustrating. All these, you figure the cats have been in the house for over a month. And I call every week. Every week. I keep calling them, leaving messages. Yet to get a real person. But they're healthy. They're healthy. They're eating. They no longer have any toys that have any kind of feathers attached to them because they've destroyed it, including their favorite toy. Their favorite toy was a stick about 3 feet long, and it had this little feather thing. It was a plastic stick. But I made the mistake of leaving it in there one night. It has no feathers left on it. It is literally a bell on the end of a stick now, which I get they don't think is as much fun, but they do still go after it. So you're not going to see them tonight because I am in no shape. They will rush the door and they'll all come out, and I'm in no shape to go chasing cats tonight. So let's see. Fiona's here and Warren's here. And we have 23 watching. Thank you very much. And according to my screen, there's what, 10 thumbs up? There's more than 10, aren't there? Well, I appreciate the thumbs up, even if it's the 10 I have and anybody else who'd like to give one. I have some small stuff tonight, just simply because I'm not. Yeah, Jen, that's the good part is that everything that's happened so far this year, health-wise, is stuff that's treatable, that can eventually get better. The only thing that's not is that one pinched nerve still in the back. And I'm overdue for getting more trigger point shots in my spine. But they're coming up. They are just like when I used to do shows. I'm living off a calendar. They are on the 21st. Oh, and for those who saw the update that said I was getting a CAT scan today, that never happened. That got canceled yesterday because apparently my insurance wouldn't approve it unless I had an ultrasound first. But the doctor for that, to check the hernias, their office never bothered to call into the insurance company to find out if they needed prior approval until the day before I was supposed to have the test. And that's when they called me and said, well, we goofed and you can't have the test now unless you want to pay for it out of pocket. No, I don't even want to know how much a CAT scan costs. So that's kind of back up to square one. But have the MRI on the knee is Monday the 13th. Fingers crossed. But that should, they are putting me in feet first. I already have the medication to try to keep me calm so I don't freak out from the doctor. So from that particular doctor. So fingers crossed. We'll find out what they can do about the knee. If I will have to wear a brace from now on, or if there's any kind of surgery, what they want to do. Because remember, that's also the knee with a lot of arthritis. But I get shots from my back on the 21st, which will be good because then the shots will last all through summer camp. Because I am hell-bent that I'm going to summer camp, which is the last week of July this year, just because of the way the calendar runs. So that means July 25th, I will be at camp. So there will not be a Christmas in July sale from me this year. Because I prefer to do it the week of. But I've changed the schedule of when I do sales so that if I alternate, then I won't be missing a sale the week I'm at summer camp. So that way, there won't be one that week anyway. So Jen is here. Lois, hi, darling. Now, let me show you some of the things I've got. I have a few things that are kind of 4th of July related, not a lot, but let's show these first. I found 2 egg coddlers. These are for making poached eggs, the British way. And it's the berry pattern. We got a weird shadow over there. Bugger. I know why we have a weird shadow. No, that's not from that side. That's from that. Oh, I see. That shadow's from that side, and I can't do anything about it because there's no light over on that side. But nope. I was hoping it would focus. It's not going to focus. So with these, what you do, for those of you who are not familiar with the British egg cobblers, you put your egg in there, put the lid on, and then you put this whole thing in the pan of hot water. And then you can just pick it out with the ring. Now, the benefit of this, too, is it's going to stay hot until you actually are at your table and open it up to eat out of it. Because you eat the soft-boiled egg right out of the container. So I have a pair in the berry pattern from Royal Worcester. Worcester? I'm never quite sure how to say that. It has its mark on the bottom. Made in England. Now, there is one little tiny, tiny dent right there. Can you even see it? See how small it is? Just a tiny little indent there. So these are, it's $9 for the pair of them. And it's number 25. $9, number 25. Yeah, what can you put in? Like, I had a neighbor that used to use these, but I don't know what else you could put in with these. And I see Lois. Thank you. There we go. So I'm looking around. Where can I sit them that's kitten proof? Because I will need to check on them before I go to bed, just in case the little monsters get out. I don't want anything sitting here that's breakable. Now, I have something different. Now, I know somewhere I should have a whole box of these, but now this one, they've cracked on one petal. There are 9 roses here. Oh, this one also has one cracked petal. Don't these look lovely? Guess what? They're made out of wood. They're not plastic. They're wood. Each petal is a piece of wood with a little tinting on the end all the way through. The whole thing. It's all made of wood. And they have this, they've got to be handmade because you have the silk leaves, but then this has the old green paper tape, the floral paper tape. Remember how old that must be? And I know somewhere I have a whole box of these, but I haven't found them. I just found these. So I think they're really cool, but it is really thin pieces of wood, all carefully curved and carefully stuck together. And there are 9 wood roses for $9. Now remember, if anybody thinks anything should be an offer up, you can put offer in capital letters and we'll do it that way. But there's, now remember, 2 of them have, now I lost it again. 2 of them have a little split. This is the worst one because you can actually see the split because it has 2. It has another one. Where's the other one? There's one there and one there. Hi, Nettie. But there's 9 of these wooden roses, and they are $9, number 24. I haven't seen, I know where these came from because my grandmother was getting them from somebody, and she would use them in arrangements and wreaths. And these, because the bottoms are a little bent, I think these must have been in something she gave my mom, but they were carefully wrapped up. And, but I know there should be a box somewhere. So they're $9, number 24. They are cool though. I do like them. Now, I was looking for, trying to find things that might be nice for decor for 4th of July or for, oh, there's Lois. Thank you, Lois. That was for the holiday or for summer. So I found I had 2. Now these are not Cats Meow. These are a limited, smaller thing called Brandywine Woodcrafts. Now it does have, does that say wine collectibles? Seriously? Yeah, their website, Brandywine. Oh no, duh. Brandywine has the word wine in it. I'm telling you, there's just not enough oxygen getting to my brain, and my Boy Scouts took serious advantage of that. I missed the troop picnic last week, but I did make it to Scouts last night because we had, well, one kid was having his Eagle thing, and he made it. So yay, we have another Eagle Scout. We have another Eagle Scout, and he's one of the most awesome kids too. Colin's a cool kid. But I was still pinning down a few kids for merit badge selections for summer camp because I'm kind of behind in that. So this has a website, brandywinecollectibles.com. So they have this little sticker logo, but they look really cool. And I did look this up. This is exactly what this lighthouse looks like. This is the West Quoddy Head Lighthouse in Maine. ME is Maine, right? But it is, I like how it's got the flag in the middle. What did I do with my, oh, did I get it back? There it is. I wanted to measure it, and we had used my tape measure to measure something else. I was afraid I didn't have it back. So it's 6 inches wide and not quite 6.5 inches tall. So you could have this out. It has an American flag on it. You could have this out for 4th of July and then keep it out as just a summer decoration. Doesn't have to necessarily be a seashore decoration. You can decorate with lighthouses because we only ever think of them in summertime. But for the, excuse me, for the West Quoddy Head Lighthouse, this particular one, it's $9 and is number 59. $9, number 59. I do like that they have a flag in the middle. That would make it, I think it would make it a nice little interesting addition to a 4th of July thing for a display. Now I have another one, and it has the artist, it says MW 1998 in the corner. But this is Nubble Lighthouse of Maine. Good night, Linda. And that one's pretty cool looking. And that one, what did I do? That one is $9 and is number 44. $9, number 44. because I looked these up, and they're usually running anywhere from $10 to $15. So I'm trying, Linda. I am trying. You have a good night. So sorry, I'm coughing. I can't help the coughs. All right, who's next? All right, let's do the books I have. I've been reading a lot because I couldn't do much else. Now, I know Mary Stewart from her, she has a King Arthur series. The Crystal Cave, the Hollow Hills. The front of this book only lists 2, but I know there's a 3rd book that goes with Hollow Hills and Crystal Cave. I can't remember which one it is. I had only read her King Arthur novels, but this is another good one called Touch Not the Cat. Now it does have, it's an ex-library book, so it does have this glue mark where a thing had been in there. It's an interesting mystery. I was really surprised. I have not blown through a book in a day in a long time. See how thick this is? Less than 24 hours. I read the entire thing. I was not putting this thing down. And it was just such a nice, quick read. There is a mystery to it. There's a little slight paranormal to it because it's all about the Ashley family and the Ashley court, which is the big castle with a moat around, well, small castle with a moat around it. But they all have a certain gift, a certain telepathy gift of some kind where they can connect with somebody else. And that plays into it. But then her father dies and there is this mystery because part of the family motto is touch not the cat. And they don't know why. And in the end, you find out why. And in the end, it explains why there's a Roman mosaic of a cat. So it really is a nice, easy read, keeps your attention. Slight, you know, a little bit of a romance sliding through there a little bit. But the mystery part of it is really superb and really surprising. And I can't keep every book. And I'm certainly not gonna, when I decide to get rid of a book, I read it and I go, am I ever gonna read this again? I'm 56 already and I have hundreds of books I haven't read in this house that are from my own collection, like this one. So yeah, I'm gonna share it. So Touch Not the Cat is $4. $4, number 46. $4, number 46, and that's the rundown without giving too much away. You can see there is a little discoloring where there might have been tape holding the library covering on. Lois, have you read her stuff? Like I said, I've only ever read her King Arthur series. I'd never read anything else, and I see Nettie for 46, and I was just blown away by this. It's been, like I said, it's been a long time. And I don't know if it's still in print or not, but I cut the, you know, I because of the having all that in the back, the binding's still good, but I figured I'd make that a nice low price. So we've got Stay. No, you know what we're gonna do? I'll put books over there. Now, this is another one. This is a quick read. Apparently, she's done a couple of these. This is Judy Dench, Behind the Scenes. Now, this is another one. It's a fast read. I really like Judy Dench. I've been a fan of her work. But I didn't know her too much. Didn't know who she was until I saw, like I kind of knew her, but I didn't follow her career. until I saw Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. I'm like, well, who is she? Because she's really good. And I know I've seen her before. So, but most of her career has been theater. So what they did for this behind the scenes is that it's snippets of pictures of things she's done all throughout her life, including some really early stage work. Do you see the guy? That's Ian Mckellen. I never knew he had black hair because we all think of him now. We know him now. We know him as Gandalf the Grey and half a dozen other things, and that wonderful British show he did with Derek Jacobi. Or was it? It's Jacobi. I think it's actually Jacobi, but called Vicious, and that is absolutely hysterical. But that's an early scene of her been doing one of Shakespeare's. Yeah, she's Lady Macbeth, and then he's the king from the Royal Shakespeare Company, and that is from 1976. So there's a lot of pictures when she got married. I never knew she was Sally Bowles in Cabaret. I never knew she could sing. But yeah, that's her. And then it goes up to oh, come on, where are you? There's a picture of her with her brother. But it does talk about the first Best Exotic Marigold Hotel movie and a movie called Philomena. So it goes up to that. She's done more stuff since then. What's the date inside this? Seriously, you have no title page with the date in the front? Are you doing that weird thing where it's in the back? Yes, you are. So the book's copyright is 2014, and it's in excellent shape, except for I dropped it. So there's a little ding right on the corner where it's squished, of course. Yes, she is a dame. She has been knighted. They actually have, I think, a picture in there. They have a couple pictures from the James Bond, too. Her with Pierce Brosnan, and then her with Daniel Craig, because she was M in the James Bond movies lately, and then they killed her off in James Bond. She wasn't happy about that either, by the way. I never knew she wasn't happy about that, but turns out she wasn't happy about being killed off. You know, she's on TikTok with her grandson. Hi, Val. She's on TikTok with her grandson too. Now, she does mention her macular degeneration and her losing her vision. She mentions it, but by 2014, when this came out, she still had some of her vision left. She just couldn't read up close, and she talks about that a little bit. So this one is $6, and it's number 78. $6, number 78. I have to admit, it's one of I bought it. I had been at a church sale, and they had it, and because Michael won't let me buy any more books. I can't blame him, and I see you, Val. I see Val M for that one. But this one I couldn't resist. After all, it's Judy Dench. Honestly, I think I'm not going to buy that. It'd be like trying to get me to not buy a book on Maggie Smith, whose career I've watched. I first found out about Maggie Smith back in the 80s when PBS used to show Broadway plays and musicals. There'd be a big special. They'd show it live. You guys remember, did your local PBS do that in the 80s? But they used to, and there was one called Lettuce and Lovage. which is a fantastic, funny script. And it's only, the main characters are two women. I think there's one or two minor parts that come in here and there, but most of it's carried by the two women. She was one of the women. She played the nutty one. It was so over the top. I couldn't quit laughing. My mother came in the room to see what I was watching and laughing at. She sat there laughing. And I just was, who is this redhead, you know, who's so good at this? And that turns out that's what Maggie Smith won her Tony Award for, was for Lettish and Lovage, because when it came to Broadway, she came over with it. And it was really great. So, there's another book. This one has never been used. It is in like brand new condition. It's called Crazy Plates. It's by Janet and Greta Podleski. And it's basically a way, it says low-fat food with incredible flavors and how to how to make your finicky kids eat, as well as a way to be better health conscious. So apparently these two were on NBC's Today Show. I've never cooked anything out of this, but I do like the illustrations. So apparently, from what's inside the front, these two, they are two sisters and grew up with a family of 6 girls and 1 bathroom. To our wonderful and very supportive sisters who we blame for our warped personalities. But the book is from, this edition is from the year 2000. And it does seem to have a lot of, it has how to make a meatloaf. You can either with ground beef or ground chicken. They tell you how to adapt it. They've got carrot cake. Bon Jovi is a bonbon. Busy beans. The names they call things are just kind of funny. The whole enchilada. Girls just want to have fudge. But the Bon Jovi is the one that cracks me up the most. It's a Bella tortellini, Rockin' Moroccan stew, the Grateful Bread. Yeah. So the names are just so much fun, but it is in great condition. There's no creasing on the spine. It's wonderful condition. It's a little like new. And so this one is $6 and is number 13 for the Crazy Plates cookbook. $6, number 13. Yeah, Maggie Smith is awesome. I have found quite a few of her older movies on Netflix on disc and some on YouTube. I did find one Maggie Smith did a I think it's called The Heiress, and it's George Bernard Shaw, and I was so surprised. I see you, Lois, that the guy playing the Egyptian doctor was Tom Baker, who I knew from Doctor Who. And he held his own very well against her, because they have, once he comes onto the stage and onto the scene, there is a good 20-30 minutes that's just back and forth between the two of them in this movie, because it basically is a George Bernard Shaw stage play called The Heiress. So the way they filmed it, it's filmed just like it was a stage play. It's all kind of filmed with one or two locations, and that's it. It is not easy to hold your own across the scene from her, and he did a great job. Okay, I have just a few more books. This is another one. Seasons of the Wild, our national wildlife refuges. Now, this is gorgeous. Where do you see the inside of this? It's in perfect shape. I think I'm the only one that's read it, and I was super careful to not open the pages too far. But I just want you guys to see some of the images. It talks about wildlife refuges, including one that's near me. The Hines refuge is right up in Tinicum, and it's actually, I think, the smallest refuge they talk about in here. But the photos, look at the foxes. Aren't they so adorable? Don't mind me coughing. It's not anything other than just being sick from that mold. That is an explosion of birds, all taking off at one time. They have stuff from the state of Washington to they have a couple of them in California, Texas, Maine. I think there was one in Vermont. But the pictures are just, oh, look at the, isn't that beautiful? The pictures are just stunning. There's 67 pages, and then in the back, it gives you the resources of each refuge. It gives you the name, the address of it, the phone number, what it has, like, where's John Hines National Wild Refuge of Tinicum. So the address for the place that handles it is in Philadelphia, even though the refuge itself is just outside of Philly in a town called Tinicum. And it has spring, summer, fall, winter, foot trails, bicycling, and canoeing. So it'll tell you, like, a couple of these say auto tour or bicycle paths. So most of them tell you what kind of trails they have. And the way the book is set up, it goes through the 4 seasons. So it starts with an intro, but then it starts with spring. And usually when they start, there's some big picture like this. This is another massive amount of birds taking off. And then a write-up about the season and then what you're seeing. The photos are stunning. If you're like me, and one of the best ways to deal with stress sometimes is for me to just get outside, to be out in nature, to be even in my own yard, because I do have trees in my yard, as so much of Chester does not. And then they complain about the air quality here. Dang it, my throat keeps drying out. Uh-oh. Oh. Sorry about that. Coughing fits are what drive me nuts. They have me on Claritin, which doesn't really want me to take, took some of my makeup off. She doesn't really want me to take Dayquil or anything, but without it, can't sleep. Oh. The coughing fits wake me up. My throat keeps drying out too. Thank you for all the bless yous. As those of you who have not been here before, you should know that that's normal. There's never just 1 or 2 sneezes. Never. There's always 5, 6, occasionally more, but usually about, 4 to 6. So yeah, that's normal for me. Lois, I'm going to have to go buy some of that because all I have left is about this much Dayquil liquid. So I have to go shopping tomorrow, and because I need something. It's been a sleeping only a few hours and then you start coughing your head off. It's exhausting, especially if we have rain. And I like last night, I had to be up every hour and I didn't get upstairs fast enough. And the tarp had collapsed. The plastic sheeting we were using to funnel the water into this one big trash can. Well, the tape gave way, and I get up there, and there's a puddle of water just all across the landing. That puddle was about 3 feet wide and 4 feet long. So, yeah. And Mike had to be at work at 6 a.m. He slept through the whole thing. Oh. Anyway, let's see, where were we? Seasons of the Wild, right? Yeah, there we go. Seasons of the Wild. So the book is $6. $6, number 47 for Seasons of the Wild. Let me put that one up there because that one's taken. Put that one in the book. Hello, Cher. Did you move? I can't remember if you're the one who had moved or not. Somebody recently, well, in the last 3 or 4 months, moved on me. And I've lost track of who. Okay, now this one, actually, let's do the coloring book first. I think I do still have your shoe because I meant to mail it out and then I had gotten really sick, like really sick. And now we know that that probably was the beginning of this black mold problem. But yeah, I do still have your shoe. I will get that out to you because now the last Eagle Scout, well, I shouldn't say last. Colin had his board review last night. He's done. There's now one left still in the pipeline, but he's also got a few merit badges to finish. So I'm not so worried about him. He's also not going to hit 18 before, you know, the end of the summer. So I'm not so worried about the last one. You start getting worried when they're getting near that 18th birthday. So yeah, because that's what happened last time, Cher, is somehow I had the address goofed up and it came back. But hopefully, minus the rain that we're due on Saturday, I should not have any plans to go anywhere, and we'll get your shoe and get an email to you and get more things mailed out. Because I have a little pile over there all packed up, and I never got anybody invoiced this week. All right, so Art of Coloring Mandalas, and that's how it was printed, with a little bit of color on those. Now there's quite a lot of patterns. They're really cool. I do like these adult coloring books. I don't know where my colored pencils are anymore. Now there's one page that somebody did, just the one. But the pages are perforated so that if you wanted, you could tear them out, and none are missing. They're all here. That one's an all over one. So that you can color them in. And then the nice part of these is that you can color them in how you want to color them in. And then if you want to use them for junk journaling, you can cut them out and tape them into whatever you want. So this is The mandala coloring book is $5. And oh, somebody wrote in faint pencil right in there, but it also looks like they tried to erase it. September 12th, 2019. I think it says Patricia, I think. But it's a leisure arts, and I lost the little, is it still in here somewhere? I lost the little piece of paper with the number. Oh well. So it's $5. It's number 70. $5, number 70. Good night, Jen. Okay. Oh, and Fiona. Now I lost my pen. Come back here. There we go. Now, so the next thing we have is a glass plate. I have two different ones that would be good for 4th of July if you're here in the US. What's Bastille Day if you're French Canadian or French? But whatever you're in now, this one has a date. This one says 1776, 1976. But can you see? There we go. Can you see the eagle? And he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 stars around him. It is it's yellow glass. It's a little bit tinged towards amber. I did not get a chance to look up who made it. It's 8 inches across, but this would be good to have on a little plate stand standing up for 4th of July, or if you want to put cookies on it and serve them, or you know, any little thing. It would be a nice decorative piece for 4th of July coming up. And this is an offer up, and it's going to start at $8. There's no chips. There's no flea bites. I know I should know who made them because of these little things, these little circles. I know I've seen this in one of the books somewhere. And I thought I was going to get to it today, but with the mess with the kittens and those little escape artists, they had 3 hours of running around this first floor today. Because I couldn't catch the little buggers. So I never got a chance to look up who made it. But it is 8 inches across. It's in great shape. There's no chips or cracks. And would be great for 4th of July. And I don't see anybody. I should put it in here just so anybody sees this later. Okay, we have that as the start. We'll just do the formalities now because I see that nobody was interested in that one. Maybe you'll like the other one. The other one has a Liberty Bell. And oh, I see Lois in there for 8. And the only flaw there is there's a little tiny error bubble right there. And that's it. But it doesn't really affect, you know, everything you see on the front. So it is really nice little piece. And I see just Lois for 8. And we're going to start with going once. It seemed like Lois was either lagging or thinking about it. So look, I have a night owl on for you guys. I have my owl necklace on. And we have Lois for 8. Anybody want to come in higher? You can. We have going twice. Last call, guys. Yeah, mine gets a little slow. I couldn't figure out why mine was so slow on my phone. And here, when I turned the Wi-Fi off for something at Scouts last night, it took me out of my own home Wi-Fi. So I have to get the number off the back of the router. So we're going to call it. So what the heck? Well, I wasn't looking at what I hit. That should say $8. Okay, so the eagle for 8. Now the other one, I have one other one that's the same maker. I know that it's the exact same maker, but it's the Liberty Bell. We're gonna start this one at 8. The odd part is it's got the exact same thing, like the same thing. There's a little bubble like in the mold right there. There's like some weird little, and it's at the exact same place as the other one. So the only thing I could think of is that maybe the way the mold they made it from, this part is one piece and then the center is a different piece. But this is the Liberty Bell. Yes, it does say 1776, 1976, but you know, that's what this bicentennial stuff is really good for. It's great for decorating for 4th of July. Now, I have my own things for 4th of July. I have a few things with the Liberty Bell. I have a couple of things that actually have some of the Washington, D.C. buildings. I actually have an Avon bottle that's the Capitol building, and that's part of my 4th of July decorations. But this is the same maker, same design. It is for $8. It is the Liberty Bell, which you can see right up in Philadelphia if you ever come to visit Philly. They have it in a pavilion that has big glass windows so you can see it. Yeah, I mean, this stuff now is almost 50 years old. But it is the same thing. It's the same exact maker, same exact shade of that yellow going towards amber glass, same size, 8 inches crossed. Starting offer is $8 for the Liberty Bell plate. And Liberty Bell, I mean, I have somebody I know from Scouts, and Overton is in Kenya, and even he knows like the Liberty Bell. Even like in his area, it's still a symbol of freedom. Even in his country, they know about the Liberty Bell. They don't know a lot about U.S. history, but the Liberty Bell is a symbol for freedom that's actually kind of known more than just in our country. So it really surprised me when he knew what it was. So we have no takers on the Liberty Bell. Okay. Oh, I need another cough drop. I'm going to be coughing my way through the postcards I've got for you guys. Yeah, isn't that pretty? Yeah, it's an impressive bell because when you see the real thing, it's huge. It's like, but then I guess those big bells for up in the huge towers of things. They were kind of big. Oh. Sorry about having to keep blowing my nose and all that. But I'm not running a fever. I mean, so there's no cold. It's just reaction from that mold. And it's also probably not helping that there are now 7 cats in my house. I am mildly allergic to cats, but having 7 in the house, probably not helping. Now, the last thing I have is I have some postcards. I have to give numbers to these. I don't have numbers for these. What did I do with my numbers? There's my numbers. No, that's the numbers that didn't. I need new numbers. Hang on. There we go. So I like decorating with postcards because it's so oh, Natty, yeah, tell me about it. My rib cage is killing me because the one pinched nerve affects the rib cage here on the right, and so the coughing is just making that whole lower section of ribs sore as can be. So, oh yeah, there's so much history in Philly, and I haven't even seen all of it. I just know that Penn's Landing is not where William Penn landed. That's phony. Penn landed in Philadelphia. No, look, Penn did not land in Philadelphia. Penn landed in Chester, and the marker is still down there. But they, yeah, it's uncomfortable and painful. It really sucks. Yeah, you're in Singapore, so at that point, wouldn't it's easier for you to go in on the West Coast, isn't it? Not 100% sure of that. Yeah, it's gonna be a long, long trip for you to get here. But you know, those of us who get to see you will be happy to see you if we get the chance to. Yeah, I have to go down the street to the other end of 24th Street, the East 24th. I've never walked through the graveyard at the Friends Meeting House. The Chester Friends Meeting House was founded by William Penn. It's the first meeting house in the United States. And it wasn't in Philly, it was here. And Sarah Wetherill, whose house I live in, who the house was built for, she's buried down there. So I need to go up there sometime and go see, what are the oldest graves that are there, if they're even marked, and see what they have. Oh yeah, if you fly through Europe, then you'll be hitting the East Coast first, and they'll probably bring you in through New York International. So Philly is an international, and then I'm like, depending on traffic, I'm about 30 minutes below Philly. But the airport's only like 20 minutes up 95 because it's on the outer edge of Philadelphia. So I have some of the postcards I have used to decorate for 4th of July have been of our capital, but I've also got 1 or 2 impressive. Oh, honey, I haven't even gotten anywhere near that attic. I want my office before I ever get to the attic. So, and Mike has he's put in and scheduled for more time off because he did graduate. My boy is now a college graduate. God, telling you, there's not enough oxygen reaching my brain. So he is official now. Sorry. He is a college graduate with a bachelor's in business administration. So he has graduated. He's not going to look for a different job from Wawa right away because there are certain things coming up, like Boy Scout summer camp, where he wants to make sure that he still gets to go. And now that we have the troop calendar, which got settled at the meeting last night, he now has put in at Wawa all the dates from now to the end of the year of what he would need for Boy Scouts. Because one of the things that Wawa is very generous with is time off, especially if you're anywhere in that management tier. He has about 6 weeks of time off. The minute he goes to a corporate job, he will be lucky if he has a full week of time off in his first year at any of those jobs. So he wants to make sure he uses all his time off. So he just had, we did a fair amount in the garden, in the yard, and he got the hedges trimmed and helped with stuff. So, and we cleaned up a lot in the back. So he he helped with that because he had time off, and then he wants to take another week off to where we just try to work on getting me into my office and getting that squared away and getting all some of this metal we've been collecting to the junkyard to get that. So, you know, he wants to use it all up. So hopefully we'll have an office soon. Now he's got a business administration degree. I keep trying to talk him into helping me set up this overstuffed house properly because I still don't even have accounting software. I don't know what the hell I'm doing on that side of things. But at least help me set up an inventory system because it would help. So we'll see how we go. Singular RX. Yeah, I need something for these coughs. But as far as the attic, honey, that I don't see me getting into that attic to go through much. Because I want my living room. Once we get the office done, I want my living room. And then there's all the stuff that's still at Paul's. Philly Flipper, bless his darling little heart, he's still got stuff in his warehouse that he just shoved in the corner and keeps telling me it's okay. But I feel bad because it was never meant to be there this long. But then I had gotten hurt. So, but, you know, I want to get that out of there for him. After all, he is like 120 subscribers away from hitting 10K. Wow. But, you know, he's like at least 25 years younger than me. So he's got all that energy, which me at 56, I don't have all that energy. I am in Chester, PA, like just barely into Chester, PA. So I am right down that I-95 corridor down from Philadelphia. So if you look at a map and you follow the Delaware River down or I-95 down, you've got Philly up here, and you're going to come past Tinicum and Essington, Ridley Park, and all those, and you're going to end up, you're going to see Chester. Chester is a medium-sized city without a lot of infrastructure still left, a lot of job infrastructure. But, and then if you go down 95, you don't hit another big city until you hit Wilmington, Delaware. So I am pretty much on that I-95 highway corridor. I am pretty much smack in the middle between Wilmington, Delaware, and Philadelphia. Chester's the city that's right there. And because I'm on the edge of the city, I'm near where there's big parks and an arboretum, which is probably why I have so many raccoons and possums and skunks and critters in general in my neighborhood. So anyway, as I was before my mind derailed, one of the things I've used to decorate with for 4th of July is sometimes you can find really cool postcards of great architecture of courthouses from different towns across the country. And if they have a flag up, I've used them. And this is one I had duplicates of. This is Courthouse in Newbury, New York. Now, the card itself says Reuben Publishers, which then tells me that this is probably from hand tinted from the 30s. Now, I thought this one was fun because it has two flags, because there's a flag on the roof of the building. Then there's also a flagpole in front of the building. So it has two American flags on it. And when I got this one, it actually came in a pack of vintage postcards that I had picked up. And here there were 3 of them. So I have one, and then I have 2 more. So this is $4, and it's number 54. $4, number 54. If you would like this 1930s 2 flags courthouse. Now, these other ones are used. This one is from December 10th, 1945. Dear John, yesterday, Sunday, December 9th, 1945, you and I attended our first symphony concert played by the New Dallas Symphony Orchestra with Anatol, I can't read the last name, conducting. Beethoven, Symphony Number 3. You squish that, I can't read it. William Schumann, Prayer in Time of War, and Tchaikovsky, Romeo and Juliet. Love, Dad. So Dad wanted to mark the occasion, and I'm guessing that Dad is not from Dallas, but maybe from up here, and it's a night scene. It's a linen postcard. So the front cover has the little lines in it from the linen threads. It's number 178, the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool, Washington Monument, and Capitol from the Lincoln Memorial. So we know this night scene is from 1945. And this one is $5. $5 and is number 20. Yeah, see, Lois, that's one problem, is that, I see Nettie for that one, is that when you have, she warned me that if it is the black mold, is that when you have one thing setting your allergies off that badly, other things you'll become hypersensitive. So leaf mold, black mold's going to mess anybody up. But if you have that making you hypersensitive, my allergies are leaf mold, which now every time we get rain, you know, some of that's getting into the air, so you get the mold in the air. Cats, which is a mild allergy normally, but like I said, right now, there's many of them. And the kittens are, anytime I sit down out there, they're on to me. And the doctor and Morgan are shedding. They're shedding that heavy coat from the winter, and I've been combing them. So she suggested after every time I've been out there, change shirts so that way I don't still have any dander on my shirt. So I've been doing that the last 3 days, is I change shirts anytime I'm out there. So today's shirt, I'll be real careful, but I was so late because I was up all night that I never got out of the shirt from yesterday. So my troop t-shirt is what I had on today while I was dealing with kitties. And too, all the dust in this house is certainly not helping. Not at all, I'm sure. So here is another card. Now this one's earlier. This is from 1915. It is the Statue of Liberty of New York. Made by the American Art Publishing Company. Trying to read part of it that they wrote over top of it. Number 42 of the Finkelstein Art Series. Copyright 1902 by Irving Underhill, New York. And then there's a little blurb. But it does have the postmark that is clear, if my camera would ever focus, that is from September 1st, 1915, from New York, New York. It was sent to a Miss Christina in Red Wing, Minnesota. Dear Marie, could not get a stopover at Red Wing or St. Paul, so will not have the pleasure to see you on my homeward journey. Regret this very much. Will write from San Francisco a long letter. Love from Lydia. But it's a great image. Really nicely done. The grass, the water, the sky all look like they've been hand painted and tinted around the statue. The actual statue itself is black and white. So this one is $5 and is number 45. $5, number 45 for this great Statue of Liberty 1915 card. Oh, Nettie wants that one too. Thank you. Now I have, okay, the only thing odd to me about this one is that the way the flag is blowing, it's blowing an odd, it's like makes the flag look backwards. Now this one is also dated from 1945 and was another one to somebody in Dallas, Texas. Dear Bailey, did you know the Capitol building was first started by George Washington? Love, Doc. There's the image, but you see what I mean about the flag? The flag looks backwards. But it's such a great image of the Capitol building. And I have to admit, I had pulled these out figuring I would put, you know, what few things I had for July 4th in here. But then at 8:30, I found out what was happening today. At 8:30 tonight, there were all kinds of websites playing the hearings about the people who stormed the Capitol. And I almost pulled these, but then I thought, why am I letting that affect me celebrating things that are for the fact that we have this great democracy? Call it that with corporations owning everything, but still. So I'm still put them in here, the two I have at the Capitol. And this is one of them. And this one is from November of 1945 with the flag. And this is number 67. $5, number 67 for the 1945 Capitol building with the flag. Yeah, Nettie, I watched the very beginning because I backed up a little bit of who I was watching. And I watched the very beginning. And when they got to the part where people were going after the Capitol Police, it just broke my heart because These are some of the same people that are waving flags about back the blue, yet you're beating up the blue. You're beating up police officers. I just can't wrap my head around that. Not in the least. Now, this card is another one in the Capitol building, but this one is from May of 1944. And I'm laughing because I just saw who signed it. You're going to love this one. This is the Scenic Art series by B.S. Reynolds Company Publishing of postcards from Washington, D.C. And this is the image. Great, wonderful, hand-tinted image. I love the clear shot where you can actually see, because you don't always see how deep the building really is. You usually just see the shot across the front, but this shows you how deep that building really, really is. It also has a really interesting postage stamp on the back, because I've never seen one like that. It's a 1-cent postcard. Must have been one issued during the war years, a special one. It says freedom of speech and religion. Freedom of speech and religion from want and fear. And it's got a Liberty head, I guess, holding a torch. I've never seen that stamp. Usually you see the Washington head 1-cent stamp. But this was sent to someone in Dallas, Texas, and it's typed. So you'll clearly be able to read this without any trouble. And hi, Susan. It says, Dear John, here is the Capitol at Washington, D.C. I believe this is the first postcard you have had of Washington. Ruth DeWitt brought you this one also. Signed, Mother Goose. I kid you not. Mother Goose. So it was probably sent to a kid. Now, there is a slight crease line right there, but it is a really nice image. So this one is $5, the Capitol building with the tree. $5, number 27. Yeah, and for all I know, the stamp is worth more than the postcard, which can happen, but I don't know. $5, number 27, for the card signed by Mother Goose, which is just too funny that that's signed by Mother Goose. Let's put this one over here for Nettie, and put that with that one. Now, oh, it's killing me. That's why I put in the description, it's gonna be, there was no way this sale was going over 2 hours, because I know my breathing and my voice were not gonna last 2 full hours. I do have a couple of other vintage postcards. All right, what are you juvenile delinquents doing? They're testing the door. So I don't think I mentioned it in any of the other videos about the kittens, but I had to put a hook and loop on the door because they figured out by accident they were playing pretty rough and they slammed into the door. And if the latch isn't quite tight enough, the door would pop open. So you had to put a hook and eye there. They're testing the door. They're whamming themselves in. Somebody is jumping against it to see if the door will open. They do more trouble at night. Cats are naturally nocturnal. And boy, these guys sure as hell are. But somebody just threw themselves against the door. Oh. All right, so I have a birthday one with these wonderful little pink flowers. They look like they might just be like a wild rose, It says, I send a sweet posy my wishes to bear. May your future be rosy and free from all care. Now, it's an early postcard because it's really hard to see this one, who it's made by. The what? The Pink Perfection. What the heck? It's the Fairman Company, and it says Cincinnati, New York. And it says the Pink of Perfection on the back. That's what this says. Now, there's no date, but judging from the type of paper, the type of colors, and the font they've used, this looks like it is hand tinted birthday postcard. But isn't that such a pretty little swag? Oh yeah, they've definitely reached the toddler stage. Absolutely reached the toddler stage. And they rush the door every time now that I go out to feed them. The doctor has taken to just hiding. She doesn't, she comes down in the evening, but for the most part, most of the day, she hides somewhere upstairs. And there's plenty of rooms up there for her to hide in, but yeah, she's just hiding. Poor thing. So this birthday card is well, I didn't get this written down. Birthday card is $5 and is number 86. $5, number 86. Because I would bet that this one is before the 1930s. Now I have another one from that same publisher. And again, when you look at the image, all the coloring on it looks like it's been very carefully hand done. My Wish for You. And, you know, these are such pretty florals that they're really cute thing to have out just for the spring or even for the summer. Tuck them in the corner of a mirror, you know, on your vanity, just as something to brighten up your day. It's so much easier to have like little postcards of flowers than to have a bouquet of flowers that only lasts a few days. These you can have up for a month and have all these lovely little flowers. And it says, a birthday full of mirth and song and happy as the day is long. So we have the My Wish for You, which is another birthday one. And that one is $5 and is number 53. $5, number 53. Now, I have four postcards left. And then that's all I've got for the night. And these are newer. They're photographic. This one's written on the back. It says it's from 1964 from Clearwater, being sent to Pennsylvania. Dear Billy, the lovely Valentine from you and Mother and Daddy was forwarded to me down here where I have been for the last few weeks visiting with my sister and her husband near Clearwater. We saw these birds perform the other day. You would enjoy them, I'm sure. We also visited the Cypress Gardens and something singing tower. Love, Mrs. Mares. That has a 4-cent stamp. Oh, Fiona, you want the birthday cards? Okay. Put them over here. But this one is a great image. It is, by any chance, is this Kodachrome? No, it just says color card. And it does talk about color photo by Ward Beckett. Oh, okay. So I didn't know Busch Gardens was this old. So it's from 1964, but sorry. Trained parrots present striking contrast of colors as they pose on a tree trunk beside a lagoon. Admission-free Busch Gardens, located in Tampa, Florida, at Anheuser-Busch's $25 million Budweiser brewery. So it's actually a Budweiser collectible. Who knew? Now, I love this one because that's a blue macaw. And if I'm not mistaken, they're considered extinct. So, because I know there's a bird, the bird that the movie Rio was about, the blue macaws, that particular type of blue macaw, blue parrot is considered extinct. However, this year, in the fall sometime, there have been, ever since that animated movie came out, there has been a breeding attempt amongst all the zoos that actually own those particular blue parrots. And they have the first 12 babies. Well, they're not babies anymore, but they have the first 12 hatchlings that are now old enough to be released to the wild, supposedly sometime the end of this summer or in the fall. So there's hope. But as far as those being found in the wild anymore, those blue macaws are gone. But there's hope. They're trying. This is why zoos are actually important, because they often have breeding programs to try to help keep them alive, not only for the zoos themselves, but to get them back out in the wild. And I just love that there is one of those blue macaws in this image. But it just was real surprised that this is Anheuser-Busch Budweiser. So this card is $4. $4, number 81. Yeah, I didn't know it was Budweiser till I just sat here and read it. $4, number 81. And then I have, now this is an Ektachrome. Now Ektachrome, I know, was postcards that were made in the 60s. I think they started in the late 50s. But for the most part, they are the 60s. Now, this one says it's 2 little characters, and it's Basset Pups. Look at the babies. Aren't they so cute? Aren't they so cute? So the Basset Pups, it's $4 for this one, and it's number 61. $4, number 61 for the Basset Hound puppies. And like I said, that one is an unused card. And then I have a kitten in a basket. Little flowers around it. Oh, isn't that so cute? Now this one has, I think that says 1965. It has a 4-cent stamp. It has been used. Dear Bill, we're having a good time as this pussycat is in, as, wait, what? We're having as good a time as this pussycat is in this card. We used to have one that looked just like that. Anne and Donald. Isn't that so cute? Such a cutie. The kitten in the basket. It's $4 and is number 79. You know, you could use that at Easter. It is in a basket. I know I'm stretching, but you could. $79, $4. And then you're going to laugh at the last one. So the last one, it's an unused, it's a plastichrome card. Now, plastichrome, if I remember right, started sometime in the late 50s, but their cards were super shiny because there's like a super thin film, like a plastic coating to give them this nice gloss. But they did, it gave a great color to the color images they made. All of their cards are always photographs. Now, I would love to know who the photographer was, but it doesn't say. This hasn't been used. It says, I'm saving a straw for you. Anthropomorphic. Got the kitty in her little dress and hat. 2 straws at the soda fountain. Isn't that cool? That's such a funny picture. All dressed up. And that one's $4, number 11. $4, number 11. Isn't that cute? Oh, I thought that one was fun. So, what do we... Where is it? Oh, nope. There we go. Yeah, I thought that was cute. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of what didn't. I do still have the Nubble. Yes, it's called Nubble. The Nubble Lighthouse. This was $9, number 44. It has the date over here. It's from 1998. It is from the Brandywine Woodcrafts Incorporated. So it is not a Cat's Meow. Actually, I think these are better because the Cat's Meow ones, they get scuffed very easily because there's no gloss to protect the paint. But these have a matte finish to protect the paint. So I have that. That was, the Lighthouse was $9, number 44. And then we have the West Quaddy Head Lighthouse in Maine. Also has the American flag on it. That one is $9, number 59. We have, where did I put it? I lost it. Okay. We have one book that didn't go. We have The Seasons of the Wild, which has all these fantastic images and goes through the seasons through a lot of the, it's a journey through our national wildlife refuges. And it's got fantastic images in it. And this one was $6, number 47, for the Seasons of the Wild book. And we have the Liberty Bell glass plate. I didn't look up who made it, but we have the Liberty Bell on there. Great for 4th of July decorating. It's 8 inches across. It is a yellow, slightly towards amber, not necessarily towards a light true yellow, but it is a wonderful decoration for 4th of July, and it's $8. We have to give it a number. It wasn't offer up, and we didn't have any takers. So it is, oh, no, can't use that. We use that for something else. So it's $8, number 58, for the Liberty Bell glass plate at $8. And then we had done all the postcards, which I think everybody here saw the postcards. So most of the old ones have all sold. Well, all of the Capitol ones and Statue of Liberty, the 1915 and the 1944 ones. But the, whoops, this is Fiona. Dang it. So, and we just have the color postcards you just saw. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was nice to be back and see a few people. We've had 23 watching now. I don't think we had more than, I don't think we hit 30 all night, but that's okay. I mean, let's face it, I've been gone a long while. If not for from when I switched with Patrick to be earlier in the night to then coming back and then having all these health issues. But now that we know what's causing them, hopefully we can get that squared away. Even if I have to rip down all the friggin' drywall that's off of that old chimney that goes through my room, because it literally is. My bed, the chimney sticks out about this much. So you have that, and then you have the wall going this way. Well, my bed is literally right here, and the chimney's here, and here's the headboard. So it is right in that corner. So if I have to rip all that stuff off, well, Michael would be ripping it off. I will, because I'm not having this black mold nonsense. That stuff's dangerous and can stick with you for, because once it gets into the air, it can stick with you forever, which is why I went and put money on the credit card on the Home Depot and went and got a box fan and a special filter that's for, like, if you have central air, they have these big kind of square filters or rectangular ones. We got the biggest, squarest one we could get. And we duct taped it to the back of the fan, to the box fan, so it just pulls the air through. So, and it's already got dust and stuff. You can see that it's already, it ran from yesterday afternoon. I'd turn it off so I could sleep. And then it's been running today when I wasn't up there. So it's definitely pulling crud out of the air. So if we can get the mold spores out of the air, then that'll help too. But it'll take a little bit. Oh yeah. I mean, I've had herbal tea because I needed something hot to help keep my voice going, because that's also got honey in it. My water's right here. I have a great big one of these and a gallon jug of water upstairs in my bedroom. So yeah, lots of water, lots of rest. That's why you guys got more books, because let's see, 1, 2, 3 of the books that sold tonight are ones that I've read in the last week. And I'm working on 2 more. I usually have 2 books running. One will be a kind of a easy read fluff piece, and the other will be something that is something you need to think about more. You know, that's a harder read because it makes you think or ponder, you know, so, or is complicated. So I usually have at least 2 books going at a time. That's why I have Goodreads, so it helps me keep track. I'm doing their reading challenge, and so far, I used to read 100 books a year. And then I got Michael, and then it was rare to read 100 books a year. So my book challenge for this year is to just read 60. And so far, I've read 19. But a lot of them have been literally just in the last, I think I've read 6 books in the last month. So, but I'm getting more books taken care of. And then Mike blocked my way to that end of the living room, which annoyed me because we got to more stuff out of there to the point where now there's a whole stack of books, of boxes of books. So I wanted to do more of those and film a couple of book sales and do them as drop sales. So, but now I got to clear the way again to even get into the room, which is annoying. So, but you know, you just got notified, honey. I'm just ending. Honestly, what is up with their notifications? Well, Melinda, I'm just ending because my voice is starting to go. And oh, don't worry, Fiona. Besides, I got a ton of stuff here to send you. So I have to get that taken care of. I've had that happen though, Melinda, where something's already started and I haven't gotten the notice till, half an hour or an hour into it. It's been kind of frustrating. You guys didn't even notice the colored hair. It's fading already. It's purple. It's the last of the purple dye. Decided, and you should have seen the one kid who's 14. He's new to the troop. He and his younger brother just came over in March. I don't know why he didn't join us sooner and just started at 14. He wants to make Eagle, and he's going to be tough to get him there in 4 years. It could be done, but it's going to be close. But he didn't seem like, we were on the porch where they didn't really have a lot of lighting, so he didn't notice. He just knew the hair was darker. And then he saw us in the Wawa and did a double take, and the jaw just dropped, and he's like, and then he looked away, and then he kind of looked at me sideways again, and then goes, and then walked out with his dad. And it was, Mike and I just looked at each other and just started laughing. And I can't laugh real hard or I start having a coughing fit. And I was just coughing my brains out in the Wawa because I was laughing so hard. Because in the bright lights in the Wawa, he could see that the hair was purple. And he didn't see it in the dim light that was on the porch where we were meeting at. He just thought it was darker. He had no clue it was purple. Oh. Oh man. So he's still getting used to me. He's going to summer camp. He'll find out. He'll find out why most of the teenagers I'm the favorite scoutmaster. Because none of these men are gonna do this. Except Michael. Michael will dye his hair colors. He he wouldn't let me take a picture, guys. He dyed his hair last week, and he wanted to know if I wanted what was still in the bottle to do mine. But then I saw the color it came out on him. So how many of you have ever seen a can of Campbell's tomato soup? That funky shade of red, kind of bright, but definitely a red. That's the color it came out. Yeah, no. He went out the next morning. We were out at Walmart and he was buying this stuff called Oops to strip it right out of his hair. Now his hair, though, is this really nice strawberry blonde because it didn't quite take all of it out, took most of it. But now he's got a really nice shade of strawberry blonde going on. And since the beard comes in reddish, but yeah, tomato soup red, it was bad. He couldn't get rid of that fast enough. And when I saw it, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'll use up the last of the purple of the temporary, because this will eventually wash out. But I'll use up the last of the purple I still have. I think I'm good. But oh yeah, it was that fiery kind of tomato soup, Campbell's tomato soup red. It was bad. It was, especially with the beard contrasting, because he's got this goatee going and the beard goes, he keeps it trimmed here, but it comes up to here, and it really looked so, it looked like a cartoon character had attacked his head. Okay, it looked like a cartoon character. Now I could probably get away with it, but for him, especially with the beard, and he wasn't about to dye the beard, there was no way. There was no way. It was bad. And he would not. He took my phone away from me. He would not let me take a picture. Blood red. Well, that would be interesting. Oh, so yeah. Oh, I like that, Fiona. Now I'm trying to think. Now I know there is some kind of red that's one of these ones that'll eventually semi-permanent that'll eventually wash out. So there's still some kind of red. And I think he might have a little bit of one that's teal, but I refuse to dye my hair teal. I hate that color. I don't like teal. I don't like peach. I don't like these wannabe colors. The ones that can't decide which color they want to be. Because peach can't decide if it wants to be orange or it wants to be pink. Teal can't decide if it wants to be green or if it wants to be blue. I don't like those colors. So I'm not about to put that teal in my hair. So, but yeah, I have a red that I think is going to make me look like Dolores. Miss Damn Jewelry. She's got an amazing red. And I think that color is going to make it look like that. And then I found, in cleaning up, I found two packages of permanent dye for a red head, but not like that kind of red that I had apparently bought. But the stuff doesn't really expire, so I'll hang on to that till I'm done playing with the fun colors. I have to get my hair cut. It's getting long. Look, it's finally back to a length I like. Because when it's hot, I can actually put this up in a barrette. So I'm finally to a length I like, but I need it. I need all this shaped and layered. So I need to get my hair cut. But all my funds have been going towards kittens. And Melinda, you sent those lovely little foil, little metallic plastic ball thingies. They have managed to not destroy those. Yes. I was talking in the beginning, though, about a friend gave me a toy that it was like this long black stick, and on the end was feathers with a bell. And I forgot it one night and I left it in there. It doesn't have any feathers anymore. It's just a bell on a stick now. They took it and they tore all the feathers off. I gave them something new to play with today. There's a shopping place for grocery shopping called Aldi's. And it's one of those box stores where you go in, they don't have bags. Everything is set up in the shipping box as it came in. And you just take from that, and you either bring your own bags or you take a box off the shelf that's empty. And so we had done that, and we had a box, and it had this neat little U shape cut out of it to display the thing. So I took that, and where the where on the bottom the plastic tape was, because the pieces of cardboard didn't quite meet for the sealing it shut. So I put catnip on there and pressed it down so that it would cover the sticky part of the tape. I didn't want a kitten getting caught on the tape. But I figured catnip, they'd like the smell, they could have fun. So I cut a circle at the back end about that big. And the whole thing is about 12 inches high and maybe 14 inches long, but only about 6 or 7 inches wide. It's a really narrow but long box. And I cut a little flap door on one side, and then on the other side, I cut out this long little rectangle. Well, as soon as they got their little paws on it, one goes in one end, the other goes in the other end, one hops on top of it. While Arwen's tail was hanging down, I see a little cream-colored paw. So here comes Elrond through the slit trying to smack her tail. And then I was playing with the flap, smacking it. So I had Aragorn trying to smack back with his paw, trying to get at the flap. So they don't have a cardboard box to play with. So it helped get them back into the room after 3 hours of them running around. And the last one, like I put the picture on, I think I put that picture on Instagram of Gimli, who put himself up here where I could not get him and decided that's where he was going to take a nap because he was the one I couldn't catch because he was just out of reach and he knows it. But once he heard the other ones playing around, then he decided he had to come see what all the noise was. So that's how I finally got them all back into the room after 3 hours. First hour was spent cleaning up the mess because they spilled their water bowl, and so I ended up mopping the floor and cleaning all that up. And yeah, 5 kittens. I think you're right. They're now entering their toddler years. It's going to be like, except that they climb better than Michael did. I got Michael when he was 2, so I didn't have babyhood to deal with so much as I had toddler right from the start. And when you have a toddler that's a human, you put things on higher shelves. And then by the time they're 3, you realize they can figure out how to move furniture around and climb on it, so you pack it away. But these guys went right from, I can leap and get to things. And there's too much here to pack away. Oh, my biggest fear is that they will go exploring over Mount Doom here and find the hole that leads to the pit in Mount Doom where the ring burns in Lord of the Rings, and they'll fall in and be trapped somewhere. But that hasn't happened so far. But Gimli is the troublemaker. He will go. He figured out the doctor's route because, she's been doing it for years, so there's probably a scent trail. And she goes under my desk, and she goes back behind this chest of drawers and the antique rocker, and she'll hop up on the windowsill for the window. And then over in the corner there is a metal filing cabinet from Joann Fabrics that was one of the file cabinets that used to hold all the patterns. And so she goes across the top of that, and then she can get into the pile. And if she's not laying on the top of a chair that's over there, she goes in the middle. There's an empty box, and the doctor would sleep in the empty box. And I think he just followed her trail right along. And so I don't think she'll be happy. But when she knows they're out, she just hides. She hides upstairs. If she's not already asleep in the dining room on top of the pile of fabric by the window, then she disappears and she's upstairs and just hides. But if I try not to let them out of the room in the mornings when I know she'll be down here somewhere. But by noon, by 12:30, she's asleep. Doctor's usually asleep in the dining room, and they don't go in there. They can't quite get in there. So she hides, and that way I try to time it so that's when they're out. But man, today was the longest. 3 friggin' hours of dealing with them, trying to catch them. It was a bit much. What about a purple towel? Oh, Melinda, it's fun when you have short hair to dye it. Especially if you get those things like Splat, which is a brand name, and it's a little pouch like this. Because unlike the permanent ones where you have to mix up the whole batch, and then if you don't use it all, then you're stuck. You end up throwing it away. But things like Splat, it's already pre-mixed, and you just use what you need. And that's why I had purple. This is, I think, the 4th time that I've done the purple, and this is the last of it. So when my hair was short, it was easy to do different colors or do a color. And so yeah, You just need the right kind of dye. So Mike's been trying to do gray, but it didn't work out. It just did not work on his too well. Oh, you have Aldi's now, Melinda, near you? Yeah, they've been springing up a lot. You're not necessarily going to find brand names, you know. I did find out that I'm out $35. They had a mini compost bin. It was metal and it has a crank and you can turn it. And it was, with the state sales tax, it would have been 34 something. But we forgot it and left it on the counter. And I can't find the receipt. So without that, and it's been a week, I thought it was in Michael's trunk. It wasn't. We left it there, so we're out the money. That's the one thing that sucks, because apparently they're, at my store at least, their thing is if anybody leaves anything on that counter, that where you go over, take your cart over to like pack it into the bags you bring. If anybody leaves anything there, they just put it back on the shelves. They don't even hold it 24 hours. They just automatically just put it away. So now I'm out on that one. But when you see stuff there, boy, the stuff that's non-grocery, they can have some cool stuff, but it goes fast. It will go fast. So buy it when you see it. The tower toy. Yeah, I don't have the tower. The tower that we picked up. I don't have the tower in the house yet because I need Mike. And we ended up not doing that. So the next, like, he had off yesterday because he had to go in and work at 6 o'clock in the morning and didn't get home until 4. 4, I think about 4:30 today. So I don't know when his next day off is, but we got to try to swap out and get that tower off the front porch. I have it plastic over it. So when we've had this rain, I have contractor bags, trash bags, so I've covered the whole thing. I know I haven't been able to buy cat food at Aldi's because they have some knockoff brand and my cats couldn't tolerate it. And that was before I had the kittens. Even the outdoor cats, they could not, their stomachs couldn't tolerate it. So, oh, the toy you sent is the ball toy. They love the ball toy. And so far, they haven't figured out how to get the balls out of it. Thank God. So this tower has 3 rings to it. And when it comes in 2 pieces. But all the balls are slotted into the bottom part. So you have to pop 2 of the balls out and then get the thing to finally lock together, which is not easy. But once it's in, it's in. It's not coming apart again. And then you got to pop the other 2 balls into the tower parts. And then they can knock them. The towers, these parts are all like this. So they're concave and convex. So it's perfect for the ball to slot in there. Now, a person can get their finger and pull the ball out. So far, they have not figured out how to do that. Thank goodness. But they do like that. They play with that a lot. I can hear it sometimes if they're real. I can tell who's playing with it because Elrond plays rough. And you'll hear it. I was in there when he does it. He just sits there and he just winds up for the pitch and goes bam. And you'll see, and he does it to the one on the bottom the most. And he watches as this ball flies around 3 or 4 times, and then it slows down. And once it stops, if it doesn't stop right where he wants it to, he'll kind of like smack it until it's right there at that sweet spot again. And then, bam! I have tried to catch him and film it for you guys. I have not managed to do that because as soon as the camera comes out, he now is right up on me. He's fascinated by the phone. When the light part goes on, that's why, like, even tonight's thumbnail for this, I didn't have photos of anything that I was going to put up for sale. So I just used a still shot of Elrond. And that's what I mean. As soon as he sees the camera and he sees the light go on for a video or to take a picture, he is right up on my lap, right there, sniffing at my phone. He is definitely the alpha of this pack. It's good though, because he's one of the ones who's staying. He and Frodo too will probably be staying. That was the original plan. But I don't know. I might just keep Elrond and see if I can find Frodo a home too. But we'll see. So far, I still only have possible homes for 2 of them. I have to talk to my scout mom because in another week, yeah, Melinda, I think he will be. I think he'll be a TV watcher. Mike's had him upstairs with him because he's supposed to be Mike's cat. And we have had him upstairs in Mike's room with Mike with the door shut. And Mike has a monster TV. It's almost the length of the bureau up there. It's a monster TV. And the cat has something will move on whatever Mike was watching, and it'll catch his attention. But he hasn't tried to go and hop up on the bureau to actually get up close to the TV. But he has noticed movement on that thing. I've noticed the doctor too. High definition TVs made a big difference. That the animals can see it a lot better. But yeah, I'm betting Elrond will be a TV watcher. So it's gotten quiet out there again, so I'm guessing they're asleep. And I'm heading that way myself because the voice is just starting to fade. So it's good to see you guys. I have missed my night owls so much. And I am trying. I'm trying to keep going. Bless your hearts for all of those of you who stuck with me. But I am trying to keep going and get stuff together and out. And I hope you guys have a good weekend and have a pleasant one. I think down south is possibly going to get some more wild weather this weekend. Please stay safe. I know they were chasing tornadoes at some spot last night because I watched this. I get better long range forecasts from this guy called Ryan Hall, who has a YouTube channel. And he's given better long range forecasts for what's going to come to my area than the local ones have. But he gives the whole country, and that's concerning because I see a lot of times where I'm seeing down south getting hit with some crazy weather just repeatedly. It seems like every week they're getting hammered. And I worry sometimes because a lot of times it's going right through Alabama, and we all know Miss Pamela's down there and Miss Kelly. But so far, fingers crossed we get through the summer without anybody having any major problems weather-wise. So I know for me, my biggest worry is the leak in the roof because I'm on top of a big hill. If the water from Chester Creek down that way or Ridley Creek that way ever gets to my house, I better be building an ark because that's a whole lot of height of water to get up to where I am. So, all right, guys, I'm going to go. If you're anybody watching this on the replay, you can see at the tail end the items that are still up for grabs. Usually I keep them around for 4 or 5 days, so you can always email me or put a comment in the description. And if you like what you saw and this is the first time you're seeing it, by all means watch some of my older videos, especially the one that tells you how I got an overstuffed house, so you'll understand why the warehouse is warehouse 13 behind me. And next week will not be a sale. It'll probably be another story time. I'll pick out a kid's book and we can have fun with that. Or maybe a catalog. I do still have some of those craft catalogs, vintage craft catalogs we could look at. And so it'll be 2 more weeks before there's another sale. All right. You guys have a great weekend. Bye, everybody.